In today's video, we're going to be making this decadent chocolate cake. This video is extremely beginner friendly. I'm going to take your hands through on how to make this luscious cake. I have a bonus recipe at the end of this video. Trust me, you will not want to miss out on this bonus recipe I'm giving out. Hey lovelies, welcome to Shubi's Kitchen. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, and if you are a returning subscriber, I love you and thank you so much. So let's head straight into this video. So into a very big bowl, you want to add in your sugar and then your flour in your sift. It's very important that you sift your ingredients because you do not want unnecessary dirt and lumps in your cake. I'll be listing out all the ingredients that I used in this video with their measurements. So just check the description box below and you see every single thing there. Go ahead and add in your cocoa powder and sift your cocoa powder. What we are doing here right now is that all our dry ingredients, we are going to be, putting them in a bowl separate from our wet ingredients. Can you see the lumps? Can you see those unnecessary things that should not be found in our dry mixture? So I went ahead to add in my baking powder, baking soda, sifted it also. Then I added in salt and properly combine your dry ingredients together because you do not want to over mix your cake batter. That is why you need to combine your dry ingredients properly. Make sure everything is incorporated well. In another bowl, you want to add in your eggs. If you have large eggs, you can use 3 large eggs, but if your eggs are not so large, it's best to use 4. So add in your buttermilk, and if you don't know how to make buttermilk, I have a detailed recipe on how to make that on my Instagram page at Shubi's Kitchen, so you can check it out. And let's continue. I added in my vanilla extract, and I also added in vegetable oil into this wet mixture. You want to whisk this properly because once we add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients, you do not want to over mix your batter. You want to create a small hole in your dry ingredients and go ahead to pour in all your wet ingredients into this mix. And it's best to use a spatula to mix your dry ingredients and wet ingredients together so you can lift and turn all the dry ingredients beneath and it can be well incorporated. Because I was struggling with this my whisk, like you can see, it is not the best option. The best option is to use a spatula to mix your wet and dry ingredients together. After you've mixed it for 1 minute or 2, now is the time to add in very hot water into your batter. Trust me, you do not want to add the hot water in the wet bowl because you do not want your egg to cook. You don't want the egg to cook. Mix, but do not over mix. Make sure your ingredients is properly incorporated together, and then we are good to go. Can we just appreciate how lush and thick and beautiful our batter is looking? See the glossiness. Upper now. If you've not subscribed to this channel and you like something like this, I think this is a sign for you to subscribe right now. Thank you for subscribing. So you want to sieve your batter. Yes, I know you've sieved our dry ingredients, but you also want to sieve this batter to prevent any lump, because take note that we don't want to over mix our batter, and in that process of not over mixing your batter there can be little lumps from your sugar, from your cocoa powder. So you want to sieve this to ensure that it has a smooth and quite runny consistency, just like you see in this video. Just take a look at all these lumps in our batter. Can you see? So you can use your spatula to press it down and to still bring out the juice of the batter, or you can just take them off. Just make sure that your batter mixture has a beautiful consistency. See the lushness of this batter now. Yeah. So I use cocoa powder and butter to dust my pan. And why I did this is that if you use normal flour, that's the white flour, to dust your pan, after you bake your cake you will see that white crust of the white flour. So it's better to use your cocoa powder to dust your pan because it comes out more beautiful. Don't worry, later in this video you'll see what I'm talking about. So you want to remove the air bubbles from your batter. So you're just lifting and dropping it slightly on your countertop. Before you even start this whole process of baking a cake, you want to make sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Make your cake for 30 to 35 minutes until the cake meets the toothpick test. So what do I mean by that? You want to stick a toothpick in, and if it comes out clean, then your cake is ready. You want to let this cool down for 15 minutes, and then you can bring your cake out of the pan to cool down completely. So what I did here is that I used my serrated knife to go round my cake pan, although it was not needed because my cake was perfectly baked. And you can see what I'm trying to show you, that you don't need to use white flour for your pan, for dusting your pan. It's better to use cocoa powder. For my other cake, I did not use my serrated knife, and my cake came out so well from the pan because I allowed it to cool completely. And for the bonus recipe that I promised my lovelies, I'll be showing you how to make the whipped cream that I used for this cake. So in a chilled bowl, you want to go in with 2 cups of whipping powder, and I used 1/4 cup of milk, a cup of very chilled water. You want to whisk this on a very high speed until you get that stiff peak consistency, just like you see in the video. And my lovelies, your whipped cream is ready. You can add whatever flavor you want, vanilla, strawberry, to intensify the flavor of your whipped cream. Trust me, it's perfect like this. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead to crumb coat and chew our cake, just like I'm doing, and just taking you guys through the process of how I made this beautiful decadent chocolate cake. When I say beginner friendly, I mean beginner friendly. I'm using just a spatula to properly, level out the whipped cream on the cake. And this is like the first coating. After this, I'm going to chill my cake in the freezer and go ahead to do the second coating. Just why not? And just watch how I go about it. But if you want a very detailed recipe on how to decorate a cake, let me know in the comment section below. And our beginner birthday cake is ready. If you watch this to the end, you're the real MVP. And if you've not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. And YouTube recommends that you should watch this video.